Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the Hero's Journey. And today, for homework, you're going to go through the Hero's Journey with me, and then you're going to complete the sheet. You're going to have a quiz at the end of the week about each of the different parts of the Hero's Journey. At the end of this, you'll be able to view the movie that basically illustrates this through 3 stories, which includes Harry Potter, Star Wars, and The Wizard of Oz. I'd like to thank my son for dropping something in the background. So, let's go on to the next thing.
Mom, what about Brave? What about Brave?
My son wants to also mention that Brave is a hero's journey, so I'm just going to mention that now. Okay, so next. So the first part of the hero's journey is the mundane world. This is where every hero starts their story. It's very, very much like the introduction that we talked about in the plot map. It's the normal world. It's the typical world. It's the boring world. You know how you use that word boring all the time? Well, this is boring. It's Luke's world. It's Dorothy's Kansas. It's Harry living under the steps. It's not a place. It's actually a state of mind. In other words, there is probably excitement lurking somewhere, but it's actually, as you know, when you're bored, it's a state of mind. It's kind of where you're at, your head's at. So that's the mundane world. And when you think about the mundane world, we're going to talk about this, but how is your, one of the things we're going to talk about in class is sharing an example of your mundane world that doesn't seem so mundane to others. If there's anything that you can think of, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. Next slide. Is a call to adventure. This is when the hero finds out there's something else out there. They don't have to live in the mundane world anymore. They can come in many forms. Peter's spider, Dorothy's letter, Harry's letters, Dorothy's tornado, for Luke Skywalker, it was R2-D2 showing the little movie of Princess Leia. It's the wake-up call, and they have a choice. And if they choose not to, if the hero chooses not to go, the story basically is over. The greatest part of this is that fear is a great motivator in this. They're kind of a little bit scared. It doesn't mean they necessarily want to go on this. They kind of, are a little bit scared to do this. And so when you think of your call to adventure, when did you refuse a call? Or when did you do a call? And why did you refuse, if you can? We're going to talk about that in class. Crossing the threshold. The next step, this is step 3, crossing the threshold. Before a hero can leave the old world behind, they have to cross the threshold. There can be a number of added features at this step. But for now, it's simply the act of stepping out into the new world. It's Harry going onto platform 9 3/4 and running into that brick wall. It's Luke's Mos Eisley. It's Alice's running down the rabbit hole. They're going into the unknown. And there's often guardians at those thresholds, either seeing their way, helping the protagonist see their way through, or sometimes actually kind of throwing up some roadblocks. So we're going to talk about threshold guardians that you might have met in your own world. And then the path of trials. Now this is the meaty part of the journey. This actually could be a long time in any book, is the path of trials. This is when the hero meets new people. There could be friends, enemies, or mentors. We're going to talk about those people in the life of a hero. They might learn some new skills, and they're definitely going to overcome some challenges. As you can imagine, most of the story is dedicated to this. This is the largest piece of any hero's journey, is going to be the path of trials. It's important to show, and the reason why the writer does this is that they need to show that there is a change in the character. Heroes' journeys are all about changes in the protagonist, in the main character. They're often going into a situation and they don't know anything about it. They're walking an unexplored path. And you start to see the hero change. Now, I often think about a hero's journey like Rick Riordan's The Lightning Thief. Harry Potter again. And a lot of times hero's journeys just don't happen in one book, but you can see a small hero's journey in one book. But if you look out and you scope out the whole series, you can see a giant hero's journey, and you can see their path of trials kind of happening in these little places. You get an element of the different kinds of situations that change the character, and you can see how that happens over, for example, with Harry Potter, so many books, or with The Lightning Thief, so many books, where Percy Jackson definitely changes. And then there's the Master of Two Worlds, or the Return Home. At the end of the story, the heroes definitely changed. They've succeeded in the new world, and they're returning to the old world as a different person, newly equipped to change that world. So they're going to go into their old home and change it. The lessons have empowered the hero to affect change on the world around them. This is Frodo's return to the Shire and Harry's return to Privet Drive, or Dorothy's return to Kansas. The world will never be the same because the hero went on that journey. At the end of the journey, the hero's change. It's a world that provides the mantle of the Master of Two Worlds. The skills and lessons learned in the new world allow for success and mastery in the old world. This change in the hero is the whole reason the story exists. Without the change, we'd have no interest. Who would want to read 500 pages about a boy who lives under a staircase? Really? This transformation in the hero, we also see a change in the world. Simply put, a changed hero changes the world. This can come from Peter Parker's assumption of Spider-Man's identity, or Luke Walker's ascension from a farm boy to a rebel leader. In New York City is now changed because of Spider-Man. And the galaxy is changed by the fighter pilot Luke Skywalker. So those are the different parts of the hero's journey. You can watch this over and over again. This is a great study tool. You can read them. We have you'll be getting a handout with all of these on it, but this will allow you to study. So again, you can watch this over and over again. You can also watch the movie, which the link is on the homework website under ELA, as well as the link for this presentation will be in the homework website. So, without further ado, you can go back and listen to me talk about this again. And again, by the end of the week, you will be having a quiz on this. That was my son doing boo. Say hi, Aiden.
Boo!
Say hi, Aiden.
Boo!
Okay. All right. Have a nice evening.
Boo!